Welcome to the channel. Grab a loop and a scale. We're hunting hidden fortunes in pocket change. Subscribe and don't miss a single. Take a good look at this coin. It looks exactly like the ordinary penny you toss in a jar or spin without a second thought. But for a microscopic handful of 1983 D Lincoln cents, reality is far different. While most pennies from this year are struck on lightweight zinc and worth just 1 cent, a staggering numismatic secret lies hidden. A small number were accidentally struck on heavy, solid bronze planchettes left over from 1982. This transitional error transforms an otherwise common coin into a certified fortune, with verified auction sales exceeding $29,000 and an undeniable trajectory toward even greater gains. But the true million-dollar dream, the coin that could absolutely make someone a millionaire overnight, would be a flawless MS-68 red specimen of this era, a coin whose rarity and demand could push it into seven-figure territory at a major auction. It's not just valuable, it's a buried treasure waiting to be found, and you could be holding it right now. To understand why this penny is a sleeping giant, we have to look back at 1982, the year the U.S. Mint began the monumental transition from the historic 95% copper composition to the modern copper-plated zinc core. By 1983, the switch was official, and billions of zinc cents rolled off the presses in both Philadelphia and Denver. Yet in a minting era reminiscent of the legendary 1943 copper cent, a few leftover 3.11 gram bronze planchettes from 1982 were accidentally struck at the Denver Mint. Adding to the intrigue, this wasn't just a rumor. Coin expert Ken Potter, author of Strike It Rich with Pocket Change, published a note encouraging collectors to search for this very error at Denver. Almost immediately, a reader named Jeff Young found one, later selling at a Stack's Bowers auction for a life-changing $17,625. This is modern minting history in your hands. A true copper phoenix rising from the ashes of a technological transition. Visually, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing, identical to its common zinc counterparts at a glance. But the moment you place it on a precision scale, the truth emerges. A zinc cent will read 2.5 grams, while a copper alloy error will register approximately 3.1 grams. Its warmer, richer color and satisfying heft giving away its hidden value. Professionally graded examples, particularly those with the coveted red, rude designation, have demonstrated extraordinary investment returns. The finest known 1983 D bronze cent, PCGS MS65RD, sold for $17,625, while similar Philadelphia errors have soared to $29,250. For serious investors, this isn't just a penny. It's an asset class with undeniable long-term appreciation potential. Let's talk about the number that will keep you watching. What is the absolute ceiling for this coin? The maximum reward for the right specimen is nothing short of staggering. While a circulated example might bring a quick $4,000 to $6,000, a high-grade specimen like a PCGS MS63 Red can fetch over $10,000, and the finest known examples trade firmly in the $17,000 to $30,000 range. But the million-dollar dream is reserved for the coin that hasn't been found yet. A pristine MS68 Red 1983 D bronze sent with flawless surfaces. Given that even minor imperfections send prices to 5 figures, a perfect example of this legendary error, combining rarity, historical importance, and unparalleled eye appeal, would ignite a bidding war, almost certainly reaching 6 figures and potentially breaking into the low 7-figure range. You're not just hunting a penny, you're hunting a coin that could redefine your family's financial future. But the bronze error isn't the only way your 1983 D penny could be a hidden fortune. Keep a close watch on the reverse lettering for the famous Doubled Die Obverse FS801 variety. On this error, the inscriptions 1 cent and E pluribus unum display a striking, unmistakable split doubling, so dramatic you can see it with the naked eye. This highly sought-after variety has been known to sell for anywhere from $150 to over $7,000, depending on its condition. An example graded MS65 Red alone was sold by Heritage Auctions for $2,640, proof that a single error can deliver thousands from your pocket change. Whether you find the legendary bronze treasure or the dramatic double die, your 1983 D penny holds the keys to a kingdom. This is your moment to take action. First, grab a precise digital scale and weigh every 1983 D penny you can find. Any coin that hits 3.1 grams needs immediate, careful handling and professional authentication by PCGs or NGC. Second, use a magnifying glass to inspect the reverse for that dramatic split doubling on 1 cent and E pluribus unum. Finally, remember that condition is king. The cleaner and more lustrous the coin, the closer you are to life-altering money. The next time you get change at a coffee shop or sort through your childhood coin jar, take a second look. The 1983 D penny is far more than a cent. It's a silent fortune waiting to be discovered. Share this video, grab your scale, and start searching. Your million-dollar moment might be just 1 penny away. Let's move on next coin. You're looking at a coin that could be sitting in a jar, an old drawer, or a forgotten roll of change right now. And if it's the right one, you're holding a fortune worth up to $18,800. This is the 1982 D small date bronze Lincoln cent, and numismatists consider it one of the most significant transitional era coins of the modern era. While the Denver Mint produced over 6 billion pennies that year, almost all are common copper-plated zinc issues, weighing just 2.5 grams. But a tiny handful, only 2 confirmed examples to date, were accidentally struck on leftover solid bronze planchets from 1982, weighing 3.1 grams. When that first specimen was discovered in 2016, it changed modern numismatics forever. To truly grasp why this penny is such a treasure, you have to understand the pivotal moment in 1982 when the U.S. Mint transitioned from the historic 95% copper composition to the modern copper-plated zinc core. The Mint quickly discovered that its existing dies couldn't properly strike the new zinc planchets, so they modified the design, creating what collectors now call the small date variety. The 1982 D small date bronze cent occurs when a leftover copper planchet was accidentally struck with the new small date dies, a minting error that mirrors the legendary 1943 copper cent. The difference is that while dozens of 1943 coppers exist, only 2 1982 D small date bronzes have ever been confirmed. That makes this coin not just valuable, it's the holy grail of modern Lincoln cent collecting. When you hold a genuine 1982 D small date bronze cent, the difference is immediately apparent. The coin feels heavier in your hand, and the rich, warm copper luster stands in stark contrast to the duller zinc issues. The small date itself is distinct. The 2 in the date is curvier and sits closer to the rim, while the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust are noticeably sharper and more detailed. This is the aesthetic appeal that drives collectors wild. A coin that looks almost ordinary to the untrained eye, but reveals its extraordinary nature to those who know exactly what to look for. Now let's talk about the numbers that will keep you watching. The discovery specimen, graded NGC 58 Australian dollars, sold at a Stack's Bowers auction in 2017 for an incredible $18,800. A second example was later found and fetched $10,800 in the same condition. A subsequent appearance of the same coin later took $8,400. These are real auction results, not speculation. The bottom line is that any authenticated 1982 D small date bronze cent, even in circulated condition, is worth a minimum of $8,000 to $10,000. And potentially far more if a specimen in mint state condition ever surfaces. Given that only 2 examples exist in 58 Australian dollars, a hypothetical MS65 red example would likely ignite a bidding war exceeding $50,000 to $100,000. For comparison, the Gray Sheet catalog lists values for top-tier Lincoln Memorial cents reaching as high as $25,000, and the 1982 D bronze small date sits near the very top of that spectrum. But the 1982 D small date bronze isn't the only hidden fortune in 1982 pennies. There's also a stunning Doubled Die Reverse DDR variety on the 1982 small date cent, which shows strong dramatic doubling on United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 cent. In mint state condition, these can easily fetch $500 to $1,500 or more. And don't overlook the 1982 Philadelphia small date zinc cent. Genuine examples in MS67 plus red have sold for $1,000 to $3,000. The 1982 D large date bronze cent, weighing 3.11 grams, is also a legitimate find and commands several dollars in uncirculated condition. The key is that 1982 produced a staggering 7 different regular issue varieties, plus these extraordinary errors, making it one of the most complex and exciting years for any collector to search. For investors and long-term collectors, the 1982 D small date bronze cent offers appreciation potential that few modern coins can match. With a confirmed mintage of just 2 known examples, it's classified as an R8 on the rarity scale, the most extreme level. Every new collector entering the hobby creates additional demand for a supply that will never increase. And because these coins were found in circulation, not hoarded from mint sets, any one of us has a legitimate chance of discovering the third known example. The 1982 D small date bronze cent has been called the holy grail of modern transitional errors, and its status as number 47 in the book 100 Greatest U.S. Modern Coins ensures its place in numismatic history. So here's your action plan. Get a precise digital scale, weigh every 1982 penny you encounter, and look for that magic 3.1 gram reading. Then examine the date style. If the 2 is curvy and the tops of the date numerals align along a single plane, you found a small date. The next time you get change at a coffee shop or sort through a jar of old pennies, take that extra moment to look closely. Your $18,800 moment might be just 1 penny away. Share this video, grab your scale, and start the hunt today. Let's move on. Next coin. The coin sitting in your spare change jar might be worth more than you ever imagined. And when it comes to the 1988 penny, that's not an exaggeration. While the vast majority of these copper-plated zinc cents are worth just 1 cent, a tiny fraction are hiding a valuable secret that could be worth thousands, and in one extraordinary case, even tens of thousands of dollars. If you have a 1988 D penny bearing the Denver mint mark, or a 1988 penny with no mint mark from Philadelphia, you're holding a coin that could be a certified fortune. This is the year of the legendary doubled ear, FS 1001 error, which just made headlines after a specimen sold for an incredible $64,000 at auction in April 2026. Are you ready to discover if you're sitting on a modern numismatic treasure? Let's examine exactly what makes these 1988 pennies so valuable and how you can unlock their unimaginable potential. To truly understand why this penny is so special, you have to look at one of the most dramatic error varieties ever discovered. The 1988 Doubled Ear FS 101 is a masterpiece of minting mistakes, where a slight misalignment during the die hubbing process created a distinct raised second earlobe beneath Abraham Lincoln's ear. This variety is so clear that you can see it with the naked eye, and Ken Potter, a leading expert in die varieties, confirmed that the 1988 doubled ear is the result of a tilted hub doubled die that restricted its dramatic doubling almost entirely to the earlobe. Discovering this doubling is a clear path to wealth, because only 3 examples of this particular variety have ever been professionally certified by PCGS, and the largest known specimen, an MS66 red example, sold for $3,120 in 2020. But the real headline is the recent $64,000 sale, which involved an MS63 red-brown specimen of this same FS 1011 variety, dominating the market and proving that demand for this penny is skyrocketing. Compare that to the MS66 red example from Philadelphia, which sold for $881, and it's clear that the right combination of condition, rarity, and collector demand can transform an ordinary cent into a 5-figure windfall. But the doubled ear isn't the only valuable error hiding in your 1988 pennies. You also need to look closely at the designer initials, FG, standing for Frank Gasparo, the engraver of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse. A distinctive variety known as the Flair GFS 911 exists on both the Philadelphia and Denver 1988 pennies, and it's named for a clear manufacturing anomaly where the G shows a shortened upper curve, a horizontal hook at the tip, and an extended vertical bar. This is not a subtle error, it's a dramatic variation that you can spot without a microscope. The value here is substantial. An MS67 Red 1988D Flair G sold for an incredible $2,600 in April 2023, and even lower grade examples command serious money. An MS63 Red Brown Flair G from Denver reached $550, while a brown specimen still brought $129. If you find a Philadelphia Flair G, a flawless MS66 Red example sold for $890 in 2023. These are legitimate, documented auction results that show how even the smallest minting anomaly can deliver hundreds to thousands of dollars straight from pocket change. Now let's talk about the numbers that will make your pulse race. While the $64,000 doubled ear is currently the highest recorded sale for a 1988 penny, the market's maximum potential reward may be even larger. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 6 billion pennies in 1988, and the Denver Mint produced more than 5.25 billion. But here's where the real wealth lies. Only a minuscule fraction of high-grade red RD specimens have survived in pristine condition. An MS69 RD penny from Philadelphia, with no error, still sold for $7,040 in 2021. Now imagine discovering a perfect, certified MS70 raw 1988 doubled ear. A coin that, if it exists, would be absolutely priceless. Could you become a coin billionaire overnight? While a $1 million sale hasn't happened yet for a 1988 penny, consider that the path is clearly visible. The 1988 doubled ear just multiplied its previous value by more than 20-fold in just a few years. If collector demand continues to accelerate, and it will because only 3 certified examples exist, an MS67 or MS68 red specimen of the doubled ear could easily break into the 6-figure range. For investors holding this coin, the future appreciation potential is staggering. But the value isn't just in errors. It's also in pure, untouched quality. The 1988 penny is one of the last years where mint marks were manually punched onto dies, creating occasional repunch mint mark RPM. Errors that could be worth $25 to $125 or more, depending on clarity. Denver pennies also demonstrate significant value when preserved perfectly. An MS68 red 1988D penny, no error, sold for $1,495 in 2007, proving that condition alone delivers remarkable returns. You also need to weigh every 1988 penny you find. While transitional errors, coins struck on wrong planchets, are exceptionally rare for this year, any 1988 cent that deviates from the standard 2.5 gram weight could be an off-metal discovery worth thousands. And don't forget the wide AM reverse variety. In 1988, all cents were wide AM by design, meaning you should also look for early die states with crisp, unclogged details that command premiums. Every single 1988 penny in your possession deserves a second look. This is your moment to take action. First, grab a magnifying glass or loupe and examine the earlobe of every 1988 penny you can find. If you see a distinct second lobe below Lincoln's ear, you've likely found the FS 101 doubled ear, and you need to send it immediately to PCGs or NGC for authentication. That $64,000 coin started as a found treasure, and yours could be next. Second, inspect the designer initials, FG, on the reverse. If the G appears misshapen with a shortened upper curve and extended vertical bar, you found the Flair G variety, worth up to $2,600. Third, weigh all your 1988 pennies on a precise digital scale. Any deviation from 2.5 grams points to a potential transitional error. Finally, use our guide to assess grade and color. Red specimens are your ticket to the highest premiums, while red-brown RB and brown BN examples remain collectible but are worth less. The next time you receive change at a coffee shop or sort through old rolls, take that extra moment to look closely. The 1988 penny is not common change. It's a silent fortune waiting to be discovered by someone just like you. Share this video, grab your gear, and start the hunt. Your $1,000 or even $64,000 moment might be just one penny away. Let's move on next coin. Most people look at a 1984 penny and see nothing more than pocket change. But what if I told you that a specific 1984 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, struck in Philadelphia, could be quietly sitting in your coin jar right now, worth enough to change your life? While billions of these copper-plated zinc cents were made, a tiny fraction holds a numismatic secret that transforms them from 1 cent into a 4-figure treasure. The coin in question isn't just ordinary. It's the legendary 1984 Doubled Die Obverse variety, FS1001, dramatically nicknamed the double ear for the unmistakable second earlobe visible on Abraham Lincoln's portrait. This isn't speculation. It's a verifiable, auction-proven fact that seriously valuable 1984 pennies exist, and the maximum possible reward for a flawless example could reach nearly $10,000 in today's market. That's life-changing money. And you could find one today. To truly understand why this penny has become one of the most demanded modern errors, you have to look at what makes it so special. The 1984 Doubled Die Obverse was discovered in the same year the coins were struck, and it's considered a major variety in the Lincoln cent series because the doubling can be easily seen with the naked eye. The most obvious sign is a distinct, raised second earlobe pointing downward from Lincoln's ear, along with strong doubling on his beard and bow tie. PCG's numismatist Jamie Hernandez notes that because the doubling is so clear, even on worn examples, thousands of collectors actively seek this variety, creating constant demand that far exceeds the available supply. In today's market, the value spectrum is clear and exciting. Circulated examples start around $50 and but a mint state example can quickly climb into the hundreds. An MS65 specimen typically retails for approximately $300, and an MS67 red example sold for $3,949. The current record for the 1984 Double Die Obverse belongs to an MS68 red specimen, which achieved an incredible $309.10 at auction. And for collectors who truly want the ultimate prize, the maximum possible reward is within sight. A flawless 1984 MS69 red non-error penny sold for $9,250, proving that condition can triple the value of even a non-error coin. But the double ear error isn't the only hidden fortune waiting in 1984 pennies. One of the most powerful tools you have is a simple digital scale. In 1982, the U.S. Mint officially transitioned from solid bronze planchets, weighing 3.11 grams, to copper-plated zinc planchets, weighing 2.5 grams. By 1984, the switch was complete, but transitional errors, coins struck on leftover bronze planchets from 1982, remain a holy grail for collectors. If you weigh any 1984 penny and it reads 3.1 grams instead of 2.5 grams, you may have found an off-metal transitional error that could be worth thousands. While number 1984 bronze transitional error has been officially confirmed by PCGS or NGC yet, making one a true undiscovered frontier, anyone who finds that coin would set the market value themselves, likely in the 4 or even 5-figure range. For confident investors, this is one of the most exciting opportunities in modern numismatics. The chance to discover the next great mint era yourself. Another easy-to-spot variety that demands attention is the 1984 Double Die Reverse. While not as famous as the double ear, this variety shows clear, strong doubling on reverse lettering, such as United States of America and 1 cent, and you can see it without a magnifying glass. In MS65 condition, these typically retail for $500, making them highly attractive for collectors. And because thousands were minted, you have a realistic chance of finding one in an uncirculated roll or even in pocket change. The 1984 Denver Mint, D pennies, also hold hidden gems, repunched mint marks, RPMs, where the D was stamped twice, are valued between $10 and $450, depending on clarity and condition. And don't overlook the San Francisco proof issues. A 1984 O's proof deep cameo, DCAM specimen, can reach $11 in top condition, while high-grade non-error examples from Philadelphia have sold for over $10,000 across 140 auction records tracked by great collections. Every variety adds another layer of potential profit for the attentive collector. For investors and long-term collectors, the 1984 penny offers exceptional appreciation potential. Unlike bullion coins that fluctuate with metal markets, error coins and high-grade red survivors are driven by collector demand, which historically trends upward as populations remain fixed and new collectors enter the hobby. The 1984 penny was struck during a pivotal economic era, President Reagan's Morning in America recovery, and it represents only the second full year of the copper-plated zinc composition, a transitional period that adds historical weight. The aesthetic appeal of red, fruit specimens, particularly those with full, unbroken mint luster and no discoloration, is undeniable. In MS68 and MIM69 grades, where population numbers are extremely low, premiums climb steeply. The 1984 Philadelphia MS69 Red that realized $9,250 at Heritage Auctions in July 2023 is proof that even a non-error coin can command wealth when it's preserved perfectly. For anyone building a serious Lincoln cent collection, acquiring a high-grade 1984 Double Die Obverse is considered essential, and those who own one today are likely to see significant appreciation as demand continues to outpace supply. So here's your action plan. to claim your own treasure. First, grab a magnifying glass or a loupe and inspect every 1984 penny you can find. Look for that extra earlobe under Lincoln's ear. If you see a distinct, raised second lobe, you've likely found the FS901 Doubled Die Obverse. Second, use a precise digital scale to weigh your coins. Any 1984 penny that reads 3.1 grams instead of 2.5 grams needs immediate professional authentication by PCGS or NGC. You could be holding a historic transitional error. Third, check for reverse doubling on the lettering. Look for repunch mint marks on Denver issues. And always assess the coin's overall color and luster. Red, Rube specimens are worth significantly more than red brown, RB, or brown BN. The next time you get change at a coffee shop, sort through your childhood coin jar or search bank rolls. Take that extra second to look closely. The 1984 penny is far more than a cent. It's a silent fortune waiting to be discovered by someone just like you. Share this video, grab your gear, and start the hunt today. Your $1,000 moment might be just one penny away.